Hello and welcome to Cloudforests' Climate News Round-Up. My name is Alan O'Donovan and I'm your host. Each week on this show we bring you the biggest climate news from around the world. So let's get right into it. The Irish government is moving ever closer to agreeing a deal over agriculture emission targets. The government is moving closer to agreement on the size of carbon emission reduction targets for the agricultural sector. The government's Climate Action Plan has pledged carbon emissions cuts between 22 and 30% for agriculture. Following talks between the leaders of the three coalition parties, sources say there is now a pathway to a deal which could be reached at some point this week. In America, Senator Joe Manchin has agreed a major climate bill with Democrats in a massive U-turn. Senator Joe Manchin, the West Virginia Democrat, announced he has signed on to a domestic policy bill that would pay down the national debt, lower healthcare costs, and address the climate crisis. This comes 2 weeks after Manchin had appeared to essentially kill off any climate action legislation when he came out against funding for climate action. Manchin said that the new policy package, called the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, includes realistic climate and energy policy. A new Met Office report released this week has highlighted the ways that climate change is affecting the UK. The Met Office assessed all climate and weather events for 2021, including extreme events. According to the report, sea levels have risen by around 16.5 centimetres since 1900. But the Met Office says the rate of rise is increasing. They're now rising by around 3.5 millimetres a year, which is more than double the rate of increase in the early part of last century. The State of Climate report also says that higher temperatures are the new normal for Britain. Glaciers are vanishing at a record rate in the Alps due to recent heat waves which have struck the area. The Alps glaciers are on track for their highest mass loss in at least 60 years of record keeping, according to data shared with Reuters. Since last winter, which brought relatively little snowfall, the Alps have sweltered through two big early summer heat waves. Meanwhile, temperatures in the Alps are increasing by 0.3 degrees Celsius per decade, 2 times as fast as the global average. Finally, a new underwater wonder plant called Seagrass could be a huge aid in the fight against climate change. Thousands of seagrass seeds are to be planted off Cornwall to test the best conditions for growing the plant. Seagrass has a rare ability to store carbon dioxide, and Cornwall Wildlife Trust believes restoring it could help fight climate change. Matt Slater, Marine Conservation Officer for the Trust, said that these underwater meadows are sometimes called the lungs of the sea because of their incredible ability to store massive amounts of carbon. Thank you for listening. That was the Cloudforest Climate News Roundup. Really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, it would be great if you could like, comment, or share. Have a great weekend.